Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing a reaction and review for the new Krypton TV series official trailer. Honestly, I'm kind of excited for this. They're like, man, geez, I think over the past 3 days, there's been this show, so we got DC doing another show, and then there's like two new Marvel shows that were like recently announced. So the Cloak and Dagger thing just came out. I just read an article like earlier, well, technically it was yesterday because it's like 2 in the morning. But I just read an article that there's going to be like another Marvel series that's going to be on Freeform. Who knows how that's going to play out? And then we have like the new X-Men show that's supposed to be coming to Fox. So there's like a million new comic shows. There's already a bunch, and I'm going to be reviewing so many things. But I'm excited for this. We got a prequel series to all things Superman. I don't know if this is a prequel to the movie universe or if it's going to be a prequel to like Supergirl. Based off of what tiny images I've seen, I believe this is actually based off of the actual movie universe. So this might tie in. This might be the first show to actually tie in with the movies. Could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't actually watched it, so I'm just going off of this one single GIF that I saw, which may not have even been related to this. It may have just been something that somebody used because it was a Superman thing. I don't know. But excited to get into this. I believe this show is coming out on Sci-Fi. I do love sci-fi. The only thing I hate about sci-fi is that every time I love a show, they cancel it. That's my only issue with sci-fi. I generally think they have great shows though, so I'm excited for this, and we're gonna get into this trailer.
Hello, my future grandson. By the time you hear these words, your birth world will be a distant memory.
Yep, so it's definitely sci-fi. That's the old logo, so this is
led a revolution against tyranny.
like an old trailer or something. Okay.
The story of your family isn't how we died, but how we lived.
I just like when somebody says this is not the story of how we died, it's like it's how we lived.
Just as I fought to save mine.
So this is about his grandfather, which is very interesting. Oh, that's a cool mask.
White Orc. Your name is Al.
Okay.
Forget it.
Yeah, so this definitely does tie into the movie universe, which is actually kind of cool.
The blood of House L will always bind us together.
Okay, alright, that's actually kind of cool. It's a cool way to do that. Krypton 2017, only on Sci-Fi. Okay. Of course, first trailer, so not a lot to actually see, but I did like it. I thought that was interesting that, first off, I would like to talk about the fact that they did use the old DC logo, so that means they've had this for quite a while. DC loves to change their logo. They've been doing that like the past couple years. They've had like that logo, and then the most recent one, it's just the letters inside of the circle. So this isn't like super old. It's probably just like a year old or so. That's like most TV things are how they do it. So they've probably been holding off on this, maybe just waiting to put it out at the right time. But based off of what we are seeing, this does tie into the movie universe, and I'm honestly basing that solely off of the S, or not the S, but the Hope. Whatever, I don't care. But it seems interesting. It's the story of his grandfather, which is very surprising to me, mostly due to the fact that we never really hear about, Clark's grandfather. Like, that's just something we don't hear about. And also the way they do the story, where it even opens up, where he's like, when you hear this story, your birth world will have been gone. So I don't know if it's supposed to like end where we actually see Clark in the Fortress of Solitude or something, and he, like, after he found like a new crystal, so it goes beyond him talking to his father, and it goes to his grandfather. But it seems to be a young version of his grandfather, so we get to see this character grow up to have Clark's dad, who's I totally Jor-El, and so that's interesting to me. It's definitely got that sci-fi look to it. I'm not gonna lie. Sci-Fi has their thing. For fans of sci-fi, you guys know exactly what I'm about to say probably. But they do the big CG budget, where it's just like space and CG and everything's just nuts and super duper crazy. And then when it's not crazy super CG, it's like very tight knit dark quarters and stuff like that. Or depending on what the show is, it could be tight knit futuristic quarters. This has a little bit of both. I'm certainly interested in this. It is Superman related. I'm very curious what my girlfriend thinks about this. She hasn't seen this yet, but Superman is like her favorite hero. I really don't care that much for Superman, but I like a good story, period. I don't hate Superman either, but obviously this has nothing to do with him anyway. It's just about the planet. So like actually liking Superman doesn't even factor into this at this point. But I am very curious how this is going to play out. Like I said, as far as what they've shown with the S, and this is me going off of because I currently watch Supergirl. So the S looks different. It looks a lot closer to what they did in the movies, what they have in like the Snyderverse movies, the current stuff, and it's also from the writer of The Dark Knight and Man of Steel, two of the darkest of DC films. Although Dark Knight was actually awesome, Man of Steel was okay. I loved the hand-to-hand combat in that. That was my favorite part. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens with this show. I am cautiously optimistic. With it not being about Superman or even about his dad, it's about his grandfather. So it's like they're basically making up all this story. I'm sure there's some information out there because it's comic books have been out forever. It's Superman, especially. You know, like that character's been. He's the first one, so he's been out forever. So I'm sure there's some story in there about what his grandfather did. I'm sure there's some time travel stuff where he met his grandfather, you know, on Krypton even. Who knows? But it just has me curious what they're going to be doing with this series. Like, what is going to be the driving force? Is it just going to be, yeah, is it one of those things where they just threw a name on it and it's like it could have literally been anything? Or will this actually have some good stuff that ties into the Superman mythos? That's going to be the biggest question about this. It looks interesting to me personally, but of course it's going to focus a lot on, well, the whole series is going to be before Krypton is gone. So they're going to have to do some good stuff with that, and I think it's an easy way to do it, or an easy way to do it, excuse me, would be the war element. That's a big deal. That's what led to Krypton's destruction. People were not listening. People were fighting like, this is happening, this is not happening, we don't believe you, I believe this person, it doesn't matter what you believe, and people were like fighting to the death, and then the whole planet was destroyed. It's like, crap, we shouldn't have been fighting. Our planet's out. So obviously it's long before that, but I feel like we're going to get to see the early signs of that. Like, things are off with our planet. Like, we need to start working on some stuff. Kind of like where we are now, like in the real world, you know, environmental issues and stuff like that. So I feel like that might be what we get. Obviously, just in a more entertaining light, not like realistic stuff. So I'm excited to see how they do it. We, of course, have quite a few there are a couple of characters that are on Krypton, of course. So it's like, how are these characters going to interact and stuff like that? You have characters. Whether this is going with the movies or not, it doesn't matter. But there are characters that exist on Krypton, obviously. So you have like Zod and his crew. You have, of course, at some point. I mean, with it starting with his grandfather, that I guess wouldn't happen for seasons and seasons, and they'd still have to do like huge time skips. So that's just the biggest mystery. Like, if it was with his dad, I'd be like, okay, I at least have some ideas as to what they can do with it. Whereas like a younger version of Jor-El, and it's like, all right, I get where this might go, but it's like, nope, not even, he doesn't even exist yet. It's, you know, Clark's grandfather. So I'm just like, I don't know what to expect from this show. I am excited though, like I said, cautiously optimistic, but we'll see what happens with this. You know, we'll have to just see how it pans out. Like, I really can't think of what they could truly do with it outside of kind of just, you know, any sort of drama space type of series. But it's like, oh, kind of just throw Krypton on there because that's our simple way to relate it to Superman. So I hope it works out. I always want superhero stuff to succeed, even though it's Superman, so it's like he's mainstream anyway. I still want it to succeed. I really always want lesser heroes to succeed, just so they can get mainstream. But it's like, either way, I want it to work. So of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about this trailer. Not a lot to look at this point, but obviously it's the very first trailer. We'd love to know your initial thoughts on it. If you guys have any requests for stuff, whether it's, you know, superhero related trailers, games, movies, TV shows, just random YouTube videos, definitely let me know. But like I said, I want to know what you guys thought about this new trailer for what I cannot believe is like another. I mean, it's not Superman or Supergirl, but like Jesus, Superman and Batman. Well, Spider-Man too. They've had those are like the three characters that have had like the most freaking TV shows and cartoons ever. X-Men is probably like right under them too. But we'd love to know what you guys thought about this. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.